coordinator of the Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Committee. Thank you very much for accepting to be guest on Cameroon Calling. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you for this opportunity. I think that the challenges are there and we're standing up to the task.
The last time we spoke with you on CLTV was the day of your appointment. You told us that it was a challenging mission. What have you been doing since then?
The mission is really challenging, and I think it will continue to be challenging. Since then, I went immediately to the field. To be exact, on the 7th of November, I was in Bamenda, 7th to the 9th. A few days after, I was in Boya and I went to Mora. This was to permit me to take a picture of the situation on the field, to meet the authorities, to exchange with them, so that the information coming from the field could help me to start my job. So I did that. And secondly, I've been to the field again, to the divisions that are neighboring the southwest and the northwest regions. This was with less noise, a more discreet mission to continue to gather the information. And what I brought from there is very, very helpful because it completes what I had on the other side. Now back here in Yaoundé, we've been exchanging a lot with the partners. In fact, we had an opportunity to meet them as a group, but from day one, we have been exchanging with them because we want to have the experience somewhere. And we want us Cameroonians to know that this problem is our problem. It's way to solve it. We have to solve it here. But that our friends, the friends and partners of Cameroon, are also there ready to put their hand on deck so that we can solve the problem.
If we go by social media, there are lots of firearms we've seen seized, yet we continue to see a lot of them around. What is happening to these firearms so that they are convinced that it's not a vicious circle of arms being collected and then the same arms find themselves in wrong hands?
Thank you. The firearms that are seized are being done by the security forces. After their operations, either they go to dismantle the camps, the settlements of the terrorists, or even during routine controls, they seize the arms and they keep the arms. The arms are in safe custody because these arms are supposed to be seized and destroyed. And those who have the technical know-how to do that are our security forces. So we are going to destroy the arms. I know that every day we see the arms, but I want to tell you that a lot of arms are being seized. And I think that at some point we may seize, maybe not all, but most of the arms, we are going to have them.
So for you to succeed in your delicate mission, you need the collaboration of the forces of law and order, security, and of course, Cameroonians of goodwill. How do you size up the collaboration that you have so far with the forces of law and order?
We have total collaboration with the forces of law and order, starting from their highest authority, that's from the Minister of Defense, Delegate General of Security, and the others. We have good collaboration with them. Then on the field, we work daily with them. Either we at the national level or our representatives at the centers. We work daily with them. I want to profit to tell you that the CNDDR is not a force. It's not a force. And we are not even a classical administration in that sense. We're a structure that was created to answer a specific problem. To answer this problem, we have to work with everybody, the forces of law and order, the people of goodwill, the administration, and traditional authorities, everybody. So I think the collaboration is very good. Why? Because I think that the solution to this problem is for the good of everybody. And these authorities, administrative, forces of law and order, municipal, traditional, I think the main role of any of these authorities that are really worth their name is to have serenity in the society.
Your committee held a high-level discussion with some officials of the United Nations. What can the feedback be?
First of all, that was an official meeting with all the members of the United Nations system. But I want you to know that before this, and since the 4th of November when we were appointed, we have been meeting with them many times differently, and we've even had a lot of experts from these partners that have come from different countries, Switzerland, Nigeria, France, and so on. We held this meeting with them because we want to learn. They've had experience with other situations in different countries, Senegal, Niger, Nigeria, Chad. In fact, in many countries where this initiative is still existing. And we want to learn from them, to see their experiences, to see what happens in certain circumstances, so that we should go on a good footing. We should not start with mistakes. And I think this is the major thing that we discuss with these partners. Of course, the second thing that we discuss with them is that we profited to let them to know the situation, because you know that there are lots of other types of information that are circulating widely over the media, and we wanted them to know exactly what is happening on the field. These were the two major points we discussed.
Now, in what frame of mind are you really working? If I go by social media once again, some did not welcome this initiative and so make you a target. We saw the residence of your regional coordinator for the Northwest destroyed. Does that motivate you even more?
Thank you so much. It's a big challenge for me. And I want to inform you that on the 7th of October, the day of the presidential elections, following those medias you are talking about, I was killed in 3 places. I was killed in Kumbo, killed in Kambe, and killed in Oko. So do I accept that when I'm still alive talking to you? No. Now, the people who propagate this type of information, they don't want that things should end. And if it takes any sacrifice for us to have peace, we're ready for it. And I want to tell you that we are careful. We are very, very careful. We are not stupid. We see where we put our foot. And I want to appeal to you also that the people who don't want peace, maybe they don't like us, but they don't also like you. They don't like everybody. So all of us have to be careful while we are struggling to pass the message on to them that what is happening is bad. Because when you look around, the conflict is consuming a lot of people. It's consuming particularly our children. Apart from the other devastating effects it has, no school, roads destroyed and all the like, it's consuming the children. So I think that we have to be careful, because the people who do that, they cannot come and throw flowers on you. They cannot put fresh water on you. So this is a motivation to us, because we think that if it takes any sacrifice for us to have peace, and the sacrifice has to pass through us, we are ready for it.
What kind of feedback have you had, especially from separatists? I want to imagine some may have contacted you.
Many of them, of course, call me, send messages. Some call to ask for advice. And of course, we tell them to leave as fast as possible, to go to the centers. Others call even to threaten us. And of course, the last category, they even called to ask us to send the money to support the war effort. So these are the people who talk to us, but we receive them calmly. We talk to them calmly, because for those who ask us unreasonable things, we know that they are not acting on their senses. They are either drugged or someone may be threatening them to call us, because there are times that when they call me, I hear somebody giving orders from behind. So I think that these are the type of reactions that we have from them. But the only message which we will continue to give till the end is that the adventure is a bad one. They should leave it. The earlier they leave it, the better.
What do you respond to those who think that the cart was put before the horse, that we needed some relative peace for you to be able to do this job?
The President of the Republic took his responsibilities. He created the Committee on Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration, and the terms are very clear. So the people who are within our context, who are Cameroonians, will be bound by what the president created. We should not go and copy things somewhere else that don't concern us. And I want to tell you that people should sit down and read and digest what the president took as a measure. He said, lay the arms and come out. And he created a structure to receive them, train, select, and resettle them without any preconditions. The people who said there should be this, I think they should read what the president means. And I think our president is serious and he means business.
Mr. Fai Yengo Francis, how do you intend to convince those still with arms in the bush to subscribe to your peace and reconciliation mission?
Well, all of us have to answer this question. On our own part, we are doing sensitization, we are communicating, and that's where I call on you to assist us. Because, as I said, this is a difficult mission. It will take time, but at the end of it all, the people who accept with us that light is good for everybody, that the roads are good for everybody, that food, and above all, that life is precious for everybody. The people who accept this will either convince them or will help us to convince them so that people should have back their feet on the ground.
How about the allegations that a peace deal is pretty difficult because in the camp of the separatist fighters, some foreigners have been grafted into the fight?
I don't know. This is what we hear, so I cannot say anything about it. But I pray that it shouldn't be the case for foreigners to come to go to this other chaos in another country.
Is there any hope for you to dialogue with some of those Cameroonians abroad fanning the armed conflict?
Unfortunately, we don't have the contact with them, but we think that they are Cameroonians, and that if they are reasonable Cameroonians, as you say, they should not fan conflict back home. They should not buy arms to send to people here to kill ourselves, because some of them are Cameroonians by origin. They are no longer Cameroonians. And when you think that they are helping us to destroy ourselves, it is a very devilish action. So I don't have any hope of going to discuss with them. The theater of events is here in Cameroon. Anybody who wants to change Cameroon should come here, should come and contribute. If you want to change Cameroon and you cannot come to Cameroon, it means that you have another agenda, which I don't think will help anybody. It will not help you because maybe by the time you come here, all of us will be gone and you will not have any Cameroon. Or maybe by the time you muster your courage to come here, those very people that you are mounting to destroy the country, they may have, a question to ask you. So I think that the business is here, and anybody who pretends to be a Cameroonian should come and contribute here.
You got all the expertise to go through the process of disarmament, demobilization, and then reintegration?
I will have them. And this is one of the reasons why I was working with the United Nations system. Apart from that, you have Cameroonians who are well-versed, who are experienced, who have participated in this initiative in many other countries. So we're using all this. We're also going to use the technical ministries, some of whom are well specialized to help us, particularly during the reintegration phase. We'll use all these people in order to succeed in our mission.
How effective are the accommodation centers?
In Bamenda, there is a center which is housing the few people who are there, which is a former health center that was rehabilitated. In Boya, you have the Bostal Institute. In Mora, they are still at the multinational force premises, but there's a premises that is being arranged for them to hold them temporary, and there's a place at the village called Meme that has been chosen to take them on a permanent basis. So I think if you know these places, they are effective.
How much of your experience as regional governor is helping you to find some ease in the exercise of this function?
Yes, as a regional governor, my previous interactions with the people are helping me a lot. Because to solve these difficult problems, you have to exchange. You have to meet people, even those whom you don't like, even those who don't like you. So I think this experience is helping. Secondly, as a former regional governor, I have a lot of people who are on the field. Governors who are there, the SDOs, in fact, so the forces of law and order. There is no single place that I go in this country without seeing somebody with whom I've worked. So I think this experience is golden for me.
What can your immediate plan of action be?
The next days, like the past 2 months, are very busy days for us. We did not wait to do the consultations before starting to work. What I told you as our action since the 4th of November is what we've been doing. So there's no time when we'll stop to finish the consultations to start work. But there's a lot of work going on the centers. We're asking them to come out. As the head of state did solemnly on the 6th of November, on the 31st of December, and during the recent graduation from the military academy, that people who willfully lay down their arms, we should organize, to disarm them, demobilize them, and integrate them. That is the spinal cord of our action. And we are evolving within that context.
You've known lots of trouble moments as SDO for Menchum in the Adamawa region with the advent of multi-party politics, the upheavals of 2008. In one sentence, how do you describe this one?
This one is just another form of what I have known. You asked for one sentence. It's just another form of what I've known. And it takes everybody to go over the hurdle.
Francis Fai Yengo, thank you very much for accepting to come to talk to us on Cameroon Calling today.
I want to thank you very much and to profit to say that this is a first step. We will knock your doors always because we want to appeal to the press to help us to pass this message. Because when we don't pass the correct messages, there's a lot of wrong things that pass under the table. So we're certainly going to knock at your doors so that we should continue. Beyond the answering and asking of questions, we should continue to educate our people. Because the things that are happening now prove to us that education is a permanent process and it is for everybody. So we have to continue to do that.
Don't hesitate to knock. The doors will be opened.
You will see us.
Thank you so much.
You are a child